All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about a huge financial decision facing so many New Yorkers as they get close to retirement. It's the ultimate tax showdown, the Empire State versus the Sunshine State.
You know, for high-income folks in New York, this isn't some abstract question. It's a real, pressing financial reality. The state's tax system can take a massive bite out of that nest egg you've worked your entire life to build. So today, we're going to break down exactly how big that bite really is.
Okay, so first, let's really set the stage. You need to understand the financial pressure cooker that is New York's tax system, especially when it comes to retirement.
Look, this isn't me being dramatic. This is what tax pros who live and breathe this stuff say every single day. And it's really the starting point for understanding why a move might be on your radar in the first place.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. New York comes at your wealth from pretty much every angle. First, your income gets hit with some of the highest rates in the entire country. Then, your investment profits, your capital gains. They're just taxed as regular income at those same high rates. And if that wasn't enough, even the legacy you leave behind can be taxed up to 16%. It's a total 360-degree assault on your finances.
So, what's the alternative?
Well, let's head south and take a look at Florida, where the financial climate is, let's be honest, just as nice as the weather.
And boom, this slide right here says it all. The contrast couldn't be more stark. The very things New York hits you hard on, your pension, your investment gains, your estate, your 401k and IRA withdrawals, they are completely off limits for state taxes in Florida. Zero.
So here's the bottom line. The income you're actually going to live on in retirement, it's completely exempt from state taxes in Florida. This isn't some tiny loophole we're talking about. It's a completely different philosophy on how to treat your money, and it has a direct impact on your lifestyle.
All right, enough with the abstract ideas. Let's see what this looks like in real, tangible savings. It's time to put some actual dollars and cents on the line.
So let's run a scenario. Let's say you're taking out $500,000 this year. And to be really clear, we're not talking about a salary. This is money coming from your IRAs, your 401ks, your pension, the very core of your retirement income. It's a situation a lot of successful pre-retirees can easily imagine.
Okay, here it is, plain and simple. In New York, that $500,000 gets hit with a pretty hefty state tax bill. And we're using a fairly conservative blended rate here. It still comes out to around 40 grand. Now look at Florida. The state tax due? Zero. Zilch? Nothing.
And that is the number that changes everything. We're talking about over $40,000 back in your pocket every single year. That's money for travel, for your grandkids' college funds, or you could just reinvest it and let it grow. It's a game changer. But hold on. Before you start packing your bags, you have got to understand this. Breaking up with New York is not easy. The state loses a ton of money when higher earners leave, and trust me, they will fight to keep you on their tax rolls. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you, but you need to be prepared. Just look at that number. More than half the people who get audited on their move lose. That means New York successfully argues they never really left. And guess what? They end up owing all the back taxes plus penalties and interest. And the burden of proof? It's 100% on you. Now, this is a critical trap, especially if you're planning a slow transition. If you move to Florida but keep working remotely for your New York company, the state can argue you're only doing it for your convenience. And if they win, they can still tax all of your wages. The good news? This rule is really about wages, not so much your qualified retirement income like pensions or 401k distributions.
When New York auditors come knocking, they're basically detectives trying to figure out where your true home, your domicile, really is. They'll look at everything. Where's your primary home? Where are your business ties? And they even use what they call the teddy bear test. Where's your most important sentimental stuff? They want to know where your life is actually centered. This is the one hard and fast rule you absolutely cannot break. Even if you do everything right and prove Florida is your new home, if you keep a place in New York and spend more than 183 days there, you're automatically a statutory resident. And that means they can tax your worldwide income. And get this, in New York, being in the state for even 1 minute of a day counts as a full day.
Okay, enough with the scary stuff. Let's turn all that anxiety into a real, actionable plan. Knowing the risks is how you build a bulletproof defense. This is your playbook for making a clean break.
Look, this isn't just about paperwork. Following these steps is about building what you might call your defense file for when or if that auditor calls.
Every single item on this list is another piece of proof that you've cut your old ties and have truly, genuinely made Florida your new permanent home. You're not just changing your address, you're changing your entire center of life.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. Moving to Florida isn't just a lifestyle choice. It's a really sophisticated financial strategy. And if you do it right, it could save you hundreds of thousands, maybe millions over your lifetime. But it's a strategy that absolutely must be done with precision. So the real question isn't just about saving the money. It's about whether you're ready to make the big life changes required to actually secure it.